Economics.
Chapter: Demand-side and supply-side policies. Explain constraints on the effectiveness of fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the use of government spending and taxation to influence aggregate demand in the economy. While it can be effective in reducing unemployment or controlling inflation, there are several important constraints on its effectiveness. 1. Time lags. Fiscal policy suffers from significant time lags. There is a recognition lag, time taken to identify an economic problem, a decision lag, time taken for the government to decide on appropriate fiscal measures, and an implementation lag, time taken to actually implement the policy. By the time the policy takes effect, the economic situation may have changed, reducing its effectiveness. 2. Political constraints. Fiscal policy decisions are often influenced by political considerations rather than economic logic. For example, politicians may be reluctant to increase taxes or cut spending before an election, even if such measures are needed to cool an overheating economy. 3. Sustainable debt and borrowing limits. If a country already has a high level of public debt, the government may be constrained in using expansionary fiscal policy due to concerns over fiscal sustainability. This is especially relevant in economies bound by fiscal rules or targets, for example EU countries under the Stability and Growth Pact. 4. Tax cuts may be ineffective in recessions. During recessions, consumers may save rather than spend additional disposable income due to uncertainty about the future. This makes tax cuts less effective in increasing AD. In contrast, government spending directly increases AD. 5. Inability to fine-tune the economy. Fiscal policy can direct the economy toward higher or lower AD, but it cannot precisely control output, employment, or inflation. There is always uncertainty about the magnitude and timing of its effects. 6. Inflationary risks. If expansionary fiscal policy is maintained too long, it may push AD beyond potential output, causing demand pull inflation. This risk limits its use during prolonged periods of economic growth. 7. Inability to deal with cost-push inflation or stagflation. Fiscal policy is a demand-side policy and therefore ineffective at addressing supply-side shocks, such as rising production costs or stagflation. In these cases, fiscal policy may not improve economic performance and could worsen inflation. Conclusion: fiscal policy is a key macroeconomic tool, but its effectiveness is limited by time lags, political considerations, financial constraints, and the nature of the economic problem. Policymakers must consider these limitations when designing fiscal interventions.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for such educational videos.